Hello, everyone. Today we're going to be talking about mortgage rates, and it's election night for midterm elections in the US, Tuesday, November 8th, 2022. We're about 6 months into the rate tightening or rate hikes we've seen throughout the year, and we will definitely kind of take a look at what's happened to most people's mortgage payments. Please, if you haven't already, subscribe now, hit that button. This way, this will support our channel and we can keep bringing more of the content you love. So, what's going on right now? We're looking at variable mortgage rates. And the issue right now is if I had a $500,000 mortgage, when rates were 2%, I only had to pay $2,100 a month. But now at 5%, I'm paying $2,900 a month. That's an $800 increase. That's huge. For those who are paycheck to paycheck or a single parent, or just a single person that doesn't have two incomes, that's going to really put a wrinkle in your plans. And why has all this happened is the question. Well, we're going to stick to what you hear about in the markets is the 5-year bond rates. Well, that's what's determining 5-year mortgage rates. As you can see right now in Canada, 5-year bond, it'll be very similar for the US, is about 3.66%. What we got to look at now is where were we 6 months ago? Back in May of 2022, it was 274, almost 100 points lower than it is today. And then what we saw was the big increase over June. Yields shot up. Eventually, they slowed down by the end of July, early August. We went from like a 4.5% mortgage, maybe actually 4.9, down to about 4.3. And now we've had a steady climb for the last 3-4 months, and we're back to this higher yield. But now, if we want to go back and look at the bigger picture, let's go to where we were 3 years ago. COVID starts around here, interest rates plummet, near zero for the Fed, the Bank of Canada, and most of 2020 was a declining rate environment. Most of 2021 rates stayed below around 1.5% for variable or fixed, and now we've had really sharp increases in mortgage rates, and that's what you're seeing, and this is what's gotten a lot of people into trouble. Again, we go back to our $500,000 example. If I go one step further to an $800,000 mortgage, which is average in Vancouver, at 2%, $3,400 a month, 5%, $4,600 a month, and they're still climbing. So this is most people's gross income before tax, and when they net out, a good chunk lower, well, you can see why people are in the red now every month. And this is a big problem. People want it to finish, but I mean, if we go back even further, if we go to 2008, before the financial crisis, which gave us a decade of low interest rates, we're kind of where rates were in 2007. 4.6, so technically they were a bit higher, but throughout the year they fell. And when the market lost, I guess, Lehman Brothers back in, it was September 2008. You can see this period here was when the financial crisis started. We had a large drop off in rates, kept low for about 10 years, decline, finally started to go back up, and over here is where COVID hits. So we went to that short-term, real low interest rates where everyone basically used their houses as ATM machines, and now they've racked up the debt, and guess what? Interest rates have gone back to probably what is the new normal. And I think for the next 3 or 4 years, next 2 years, you're not going to see too much relief, and then anything goes. I mean, we've had a war start in Russia and Ukraine, and the market's unpredictable. But as you can kind of see, if you had a variable rate mortgage, you are in a big pinch right now because incomes are not going up as fast as our payments are. And if we don't have a rainy day fund, as you know, we've talked about investing, savings, dividends on our other videos, those become more prevalent because, hey, you can at least dip into those. So we are definitely in an interesting time here. Hopefully we've all found this a little bit useful, and the fixed rate people have been okay. But even when those renew in a couple of years, people are going to see massive increases to their payments. So please leave some comments below. Let us know how this has affected you. And we thank you very much for your support.